Off the top, a one and only exclusive with Haiti's outgoing president. Only Local 10 News is there as Michel Martelly said goodbye to his staff and his office. Martelly signed an order swearing he would step down as mandated tomorrow.
Martelly promised a stronger Haiti after coming into office in a messy election 5 years ago. Tonight he leaves behind a mixed legacy clouded by a political crisis all too familiar to the Haitian people. Local 10 News' Calvin Hughes is live in Port-au-Prince with his exclusive interview. Calvin.
Carlos and Cheyenne, at 12:01 tonight, President Michel Martelly's 5-year term will officially come to an end. And last night, both Martelly and key members of the Haitian parliament came together in the wee hours of the morning and tried to come up with some sort of deals, to strike a deal, to have some sort of smooth transition of government. And here's how the deal looks. As of right now, first, a provisional or interim government will take over starting tomorrow and will be in power for 120 days. The Haitian parliament will select a new president and prime minister as quickly as politically possible, and the new president will have one job and one job only, and that is to make sure that the country has the presidential runoff and legislative elections on April 24th and then the inauguration on May 14th. Here's what Martelly said about the deal that he struck with members of the parliament last night.
But Haiti has suffered great loss because people who never wanted elections are about to probably get the power again without elections because they forced me into a deal.
Well, today, as you talked about, Cheyenne and Carlos, it was an unprecedented day in terms of our access to President Martelly's final minutes, final hours in office. It was truly historic to see him walk the grounds of the National Palace today with members of his staff, and it was very emotional for him and for everyone around him. Here's a look back. It's the final moments of a 5-year presidency, taking personal belongings from the office of the National Palace. Haitian President Michel Martelly marking his final minutes in office, taking pictures, walking the halls to say goodbye to even the secretaries. Then it's down the stairs for the final time. Walking out to a grateful staff. Martelly fighting back the tears. But this is a president who lives in the moment, and that makes him no match for emotion. Unconventional until the very end. Dancing with security guards with big guns on their backs. Martelly told me he had one final act as president.
When you offer them a bus like this?
Turning over a social program he started for people who used to live on the streets to drive vans to earn a living. Haiti's constitution says Martelly must be out of office 1 minute after midnight Saturday night. President Michel Martelly leaving the grounds of the palace for one final time as president of his country. It's democracy at work, but sometimes democracy can be messy, powerful, and painful. Well, Martelly says he will take a break and then he will go back to his music. And by the way, Carnival was supposed to start tomorrow, but some of the floats will be canceled, and Martelly says he's not quite into possibly getting onto a float and celebrating what is a big tradition here in this country. And one final note here, there was a protest today right outside the palace while President Martelly was saying his final goodbyes. Cheyenne and Carlos.
You know, very emotional there. I understand, Calvin, you said he will plan to take a break, but any indication of what Martelly will do in the future?
Well, it's funny, we did have a chance to talk about that today during his final exit interview. We were the only station that he talked with today inside of the National Palace, what is remaining of the National Palace. And here's what he had to say. Take a listen.
If I'm needed, I'll be there. I'm not afraid. Except that I can not just say I want to be president. And there are so much bigger things. There are things that I wanted to do.
So he says there are things that he wanted to do for the Haitian people that he didn't have a chance to do as president, but he hopes to be able to do as a citizen now. So he didn't quite leave the door open to run for president again, but if I'm guessing, he will likely try to do that 5 years from now. I'll send it back to you.
Martelly comes into office or leaves office just as he came in, with a lot apparently still left to do.
Yes, lots of passion behind it as well. All right, well, thank you, Calvin. And Calvin will be back tomorrow morning with more of what Martelly had to say. Look for his live reports on Local 10 Morning News starting at 9 o'clock.